Hi everybody, this is Dave Fresilli with Holistic Health and Fitness and Holistic Health Vibrant Life, the podcast. This week's podcast and blog, your expectations versus your results. So a lot of times we get caught up with wanting the expectations so much that we don't see the little incremental steps that we're making in the results towards that big dream or that big goal, our expectations. And we start to identify ourselves with only that proves that it's happening. And this can cause a lot of pain and frustration for people. And so what I want you to want to remind you of is that when you are working towards a goal, now we're always talking about health and fitness, getting that dream body, that health, that fitness, that well-being in your life. It's important to be consciously aware and to be able to identify those little steps of progress that you're making as you're moving along the road to becoming that person, that healthy, fit person. So for instance, in the blog I talk about, and in the podcast I talk about clients that I've had that if they don't see the scale, the weight scale, going down, they think they're not getting any results. And a lot of times this happens in the very beginning of a workout. And they only focus on that. So they've identified themselves as, if I'm losing weight, I'm doing it. And if I'm not, then there's something wrong, and what's wrong with me? And that's really not the way we want to go about doing this. Don't identify yourself with your outside results. Remember, you are an integrated being, a spirit with a mind that you think with, and a body that you live in and use as an instrument to physically manifest and be a physical manifestation of your beingness. But you are a beingness. Identify yourself as the beingness that is having this experience. But do not identify yourself just as that experience, no matter what it is in your life, the outside aspects of your life. Okay? This way you'll have a deeper sense of peace within yourself. And your happiness won't be determined by your outside expressions of who you are, the manifestations of, i.e. losing weight, getting leaner, getting ripped, being stronger, etc. I'm sure that makes sense to you. So here's just a little example. When you begin a workout program, some of us, because it depends on who we are, we will begin to stimulate muscle growth and lose body fat at the same time. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm 160 pounds. So if I say, you know what, I want to put on some more muscle, I have to change my workout routine again. I have to start eating a little differently. And what will start happening is, and I'm what's called a hard gainer, so it's hard for me to put on muscle. I really have to work for it. But that's okay. So after about a month or two, I'll put on a pound or so of muscle, really working diligently, etc. So at 160, I will have gone up to 162. That makes sense, right? My scale weight is increased. Yet at the same time, my body fat will have reduced probably a couple of pounds. So in 2 months or so, I still might be 160 pounds on my scale. Now, if I only went by the outside measurements, i.e. the scale weight of what was happening, I would stand back and say, what the heck is going on? I've been working like a dog for 2 months, eating really well the whole bit, and I'm still 160 pounds. But what I wouldn't be looking at is those small incremental improvements that have actually happened because I wasn't becoming aware of them. I wasn't focusing on them. Now, what we would do is we would say, oh, hang on a second, Dave. Let's go ahead and take your measurements. And we would see then, just with that 2 pounds of muscle and drop of 2 pounds or so of body fat, that my muscle mass would have increased, my body fat would have reduced, and I should have a better taper, more muscularity, et cetera, et cetera. So you would say, oh, well, look, you actually, and then I would probably say, yeah, I know. I could tell something was changing. I could tell I looked more muscular or more lean or whatever. But because I was so stuck on identifying myself as having to lose weight, that I completely lost track of all the other incremental things that I was doing that were improving. I felt stronger, I could tell I was getting leaner, etc. So again, never ever identify yourself with your outside results. Become aware of the beingness that you are. And then you can experience all of your life experience, including the health and the fitness and the well-being of your body, without the frustration, the pain, and the suffering that comes along with not achieving or being at your so-called expectations. You have an amazing life in front of you. Learn to quiet your mind. Learn to be at one with yourself. And learn to find the joy of being in the beingness that you are, as opposed to identifying yourself with your external circumstances. How much money you make, what your body looks like, your husband, your wife, the house you live in, etc. So until then, so remember, you can see this or listen to this on a podcast. Go to iTunes and you can subscribe to Holistic Health, Vibrant Life, the podcasts. And then when you subscribe, every time you listen to a podcast, if you would do me the biggest favor, please leave a rating so you can rate the podcast and leave a little review, because I'll read those and I know where to go after that. All right? So until then, this is Dave Fresilli with Holistic Health and Fitness, and Dave Fresilli, Holistic Health, Vibrant Life, the podcast. And I wish for all of you a vibrant life. Take care.